Hello, my name is Chantal and I'm a member at Andover Baptist Church. It's so good to be able to share with you this week in our theme of walking on water. The Bible reading is taken from Matthew 14 verses 22 to 33. Jesus walks on the water. Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." I just love how Jesus teaches. He gives a healthy dose of the theory, but then there's always the practical. He explains, he shows, and then he also gives the opportunity for people to experience and receive it themselves. He was in a boat with these disciples before, remember, sleeping when a storm terrified them and they woke him up to help. And he calmed it before their very eyes. And now he gives them the chance to experience that power of the supernatural for themselves. One of them, Peter, steps out of the boat. He falters and Jesus catches him, but how he has learned and how he has changed, and the rest of them too. When my children were learning to walk, I did not give them lengthy lectures in the muscle movement and mechanics of their legs and how they worked, and I didn't spend time telling them to imagine how wonderful walking must feel. I didn't send them to a course to get a certificate proving that they knew all the great walkers throughout history. Alex and I held their hands and encouraged them in all their wobbly efforts at standing. They could feel what it could be like, but they really had to take that first of many steps on their own, believing that their legs would hold them. And even if they gave up a few times because falling over was not that much fun, they didn't quit altogether. These disciples have come to a new place of trust and faith as a result of what they've seen and experienced. The ones in the boat had their faith built by watching Peter and Jesus, and this should be encouraging to us. Even our failures become stories of growth and encouragement, because at the end of the day, the story ends the same way. Jesus saved us. Jesus did it. Reverend Kathleen McShane puts it so nicely when she says this: Jesus is not our life coach. His work is not to build me up in my own supply of godlike miracle ingredients. He's the one that I have to stay connected to when I'm out there feeling confident, and when I'm not, I have to hold on. Isn't that great? It takes the pressure off us completely. We don't do it in our own strength. We stay connected to the one who does it for and sometimes through us. Take heart, be encouraged, and go encourage others. When Jesus says come, go and walk on the water towards him. Why not meditate on the words of the song below as an act of prayer? The song is, "As You Find Me."